Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Season 4 is almost here and EA has officially released all of the details earlier this week. Now if you've looked at the patch notes, you already know they're absolutely massive as usual. There are hundreds of bug fixes, gameplay tweaks, new weapons, vehicles, maps, and enough information to spend probably an hour reading through, which is great. But if you're anything like me, you're probably just wondering what actually matters when I jump into Battlefield next week. So in this video, I'm going to save you the time, break down everything I think casual Battlefield players actually need to know before Season 4 launches, so let's jump into it. So the biggest headline this season is easy, and I'm sure most people have already seen this. Battlefield is heading back to the Pacific. So Season 4 introduces an entirely new map called Sewer Reef, and honestly it looks pretty good. This isn't just another island map, it's actually the biggest Battlefield 6 map we've seen so far, featuring multiple tropical islands connected by these open water beaches, cliffs, luxury resorts, and a dormant volcano sitting in the middle of it all. So what's exciting is that the entire map has been built around this land, sea, and air combat all happening simultaneously. So instead of simply fighting over roads and buildings like we've been doing in most of our maps, you'll also be battling across this coastline and open ocean. And that's actually where the biggest gameplay changes come in. As an extension of this ocean theme, naval warfare is finally back. So if you've played older Battlefield games, you already know how much naval combat has always been a part of the franchise's identity. Now it's making a full return in Season 4, introducing two brand new boats. The first is the 7.7 meter RHIB, which is essentially your fast transport boat. It seats 4 players, so your full squad, and has a mounted machine gun and is designed to get squads into the objectives quickly. The second one is the one I'm more excited about, and that's the RCB-90 patrol boat. Think of this thing more like a tank, except it floats. The driver gets a 30mm autocannon and missiles, while the second player controls mortar shells that can be customized for different situations. And I think this is going to create some really fun teamwork moments, because instead of having everyone fighting over tanks, you'll now have squads coordinating attacks from the water, while helicopters fly overhead and infantry push objectives on land. So I think that's honestly where Battlefield's always at its best. Another interesting change are the updates to the water itself. So Season 4 introduces a brand new dynamic wave system. Now at first that doesn't sound super exciting, but once you dig into what they're actually changing, this could completely change how these maps play. So water is no longer just something you can swim through, waves will change visibility as sets come in and out, and boats create wakes behind them. Explosions now behave differently underwater. These bullets lose damage depending on how deep they're traveling, and another great feature is you can now drag and revive teammates while you're both in the water. So imagine your squad gets blown out of a patrol boat. Instead of everyone instantly dying, your medic can actually pull teammates to safety before reviving them. I think that's a great addition. Of course, every new season also brings new weapons, which is great. First up is the EF-A8 assault rifle. From everything EA has shared, this looks like a very beginner-friendly rifle. It has a slower rate of fire, manageable recoil, and is designed for mid to long-range engagements. Honestly, this sounds like a great casual player addition, so we'll see how it actually pans out. Next is the Broad 3 carbine. This one is almost the opposite. It's built for aggressive players with higher mobility and a faster rate of fire. So if you enjoy constantly pushing objectives, this might become one of the strongest carbines in the game. Finally, we have the VSSM designed designated marksman rifle. This one is probably the most unique. It comes with an integrated suppressor, subsonic ammunition, and even has a full auto option. Personally, as you've probably heard from some of my previous videos, DMRs have never really been my thing, but I'm definitely interested to see how this one performs because it almost sounds like it blurs the line between a DMR and an assault rifle. There are also some new attachments worth mentioning. Shotguns are getting an extended barrel that increases projectile velocity, making them much more effective at longer ranges. There's also a brand new LPVO optic with 1.5x and 4.5x zoom options. Later in the season, we'll also get hybrid suppressors that reduce recoil while keeping you off the minimap, along with a new vertical grip designed for LMG players who prefer a more aggressive style. Now, I don't think these attachments are going to completely change the meta overnight, but they'll definitely give us some interesting new loadout options. So once these updates go live, I'll do a deeper dive on whether they actually matter for casual players once I get some hands-on experience with them. Coming later this season, we're getting the return of Wake Island, which is one of Battlefield's most iconic maps. I'm less excited about this because I think I'd prefer new maps over continuously remaking old ones. But nevertheless, Wake Island is always a good time, so I'm curious to see how it's updated. They've changed some points of interest and added some more covers to help us adapt to more modern gunplay styles compared to something like Battlefield 5. There's also a new carrier strike mode built around attacking and defending aircraft carriers using infantry, boats, and aircraft all at the same time. So this sounds interesting, and I'm looking forward to jumping into that. We're getting 2 brand new fighter jets, a new sniper rifle, Top Gun themed cosmetics, and even dedicated jet focused game modes. So whether you're excited about collaborations or not, this is actually a pretty substantial amount of content, so we'll see how it actually is received. So overall, I think Season 4 looks incredibly promising. Obviously, naval warfare is the headline feature here, but honestly what excites me just as much are all the smaller gameplay improvements happening underneath the surface. So the cleaner movement, the better swimming, improved HUD clarity, more polished audio, which was a huge need from the last season, new weapons of course, and a map that looks designed specifically to create those classic Battlefield moments that the series is known for. So as always, I'll be covering all of this once the updates launch, testing the new weapons, reviewing the balance changes, and helping figure out what actually works for casual players. So I'd also love to hear what you're most excited for. Is it the naval warfare, the new weapons, Wake Island, or maybe you're just excited to finally have boats back in Battlefield? Thanks so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to spread some positivity, and I'll see you in the next one.